In Universe 7, on the beautiful planet Earth, which had witnessed many epic battles and events that could have destroyed it, there had been great peace for a long time. Everything seemed calm and peaceful, and all the people on the planet seemed to be going about their lives with glamour and subtlety. But of course, this only involves normal humans who have no idea that there are extremely strong people who have reached the level of gods and who also live on the same planet as them. One of these extremely powerful beings, obviously, is the Saiyan who was raised on Earth, Son Goku, who is responsible for saving the planet and even the universe several times. Goku, as usual, used various training methods to become stronger and thus surpass his limits. But these days, he was doing various tasks at home, fulfilling his duty as a husband. Well, actually, that's what Chi-Chi says, and so Goku obeyed without hesitation. Goku was gathering some small logs of wood to make a bonfire. Chi-Chi wanted to have a big feast today because today is the birthday of Goku's youngest son, Goten. The boy was already turning 12, and this showed how time had already passed extremely quickly. Goku said, "Phew, I think this amount of wood is enough since it's a big feast. I made sure to get a lot, ha ha ha," the Saiyan commented while organizing the wood near a large tree. After a few minutes, Goku put on his uniform and went home because he wanted to invite his son Goten to go fishing and maybe even play some games in the water. After all, today is his birthday. Goku quickly flew home and found his wife Chi-Chi, who was waiting for him with an expression of fury, but at the same time of doubt. Goku had no idea why she was angry, especially at a special moment like this. But anyway, he just went on his way and started talking to his wife. Goku said, "See, Chi-Chi, did something happen? Was it something I did? If so, please forgive me. I swear I won't do it again. I promise," Goku commented pleadingly, predicting that his wife would give him a big lecture. But unexpectedly, Goku wasn't the center of Chi-Chi's anger this time. The moment she saw him, she ran into her beloved husband's arms and began to shed a few small tears under the casual clothes he was wearing. Goku didn't understand, but somehow he instantly felt that he should reciprocate and hug her back. Goku was worried. He usually didn't know what to do in this kind of situation, but what he was doing was more than enough for Chi-Chi. And then, to put an end to the mystery, Chi-Chi, who was now a little calmer, began to speak. Chi-Chi said, "Gee, Goku, I don't know what happened. Goten, I don't understand what happened. One moment he was helping me organize the dishes under the table, but then he told me he was going to get some air in the woods where he loves to be. A few minutes have passed and he still hasn't come back, and the worst of all is that I went to the woods to check and found nothing. He wasn't there anymore. Goku, please try to find Goten. He doesn't usually disappear like this." A sad Chi-Chi spoke, worried about her son's situation and wondering where he could have gone. The moment Chi-Chi reported the situation, the Saiyan's first line of thought was to look for his son using his Kai, but such was his surprise when he discovered that Goten was nowhere to be found. Goku tried to locate him on other planets, but even so, he was unsuccessful. It was as if Goten had never existed. It was as if his existence had simply been erased. Upon realizing this, Goku began to sweat and a huge worry grew in his chest. His son could be in a terrible situation. The Saiyan began to reflect on the situation, and inevitably, he began to blame himself for it. Goku said, "Calm down, Chi-Chi. I'm sure we can find him. I couldn't find him through his ki, but I'm sure he's fine. Whoever kidnapped him, they definitely want me to find him. If it weren't for that, what would be the reason for all this suspense? I just want you to calm down a little, okay? I'll find him. I'm absolutely sure he's alive." Goku said, who, although worried, remained with hope in his heart. After calming his wife down a bit, Goku headed to the woods where Goten was and found something that had gone unnoticed by her. It seemed to be something like a crack in space-time, as if someone had made it with the intention of someone finding it. This only increased the Saiyan's hopes that his son was still alive. Now it seemed entirely plausible that Chi-Chi had not noticed this crack since she was in a tree and had camouflaged herself with the environment. Goku quickly came to the conclusion that the individual who did this certainly had divine power, since there are few people who can create dimensional portals. Of course, they are rare exceptions. This crack had been opened through divine power. It seemed to be a dimension that transmitted such power, and Goku could feel an enormous amount of energy. Goku said, "Well, my suspicions were correct. The individual who kidnapped Goten wants me to go rescue him, but I don't think it will be that easy. He is certainly planning something. Who could it be? An old enemy? Someone new? A god? I have no idea. Frieza would have no reason to make games like that since he likes to get straight to the point. Well, anyway, my questions will be answered when I enter that crack, said an extremely calm Goku who coldly analyzes the situation, about to discover the truth behind all of this. After reaching some conclusions about Goten's disappearance, Goku opens the crack using Divine Ki and thus manages to enter another dimension. And what the Saiyan saw had definitely left him with an empty feeling, exactly like the place he was. There was nothing, no trace, no smell, no ki, no voice, no atoms, nothing. Just the origin of everything, nothing. It was frustrating for the Saiyan to have the thought that he was so close to finding his son and come across a reality as harsh as this. Being in that place, he no longer knew what to do, because the crack he found was the only possible explanation. But after a few minutes, an extremely muffled and noisy voice emerged from the immense space that was devoid of life and structure. A voice that Goku had never heard before, and this made him even more worried. The voice spoke, "Hello, Son Goku, warrior of the Saiyan race. You must be full of doubts right now, wondering who I am, but you obviously don't know me. We've never met, but I've lived with your race. They exiled me. They thought they could imprison me forever, but these useless efforts only made me even stronger. And now you, one of the survivors of this pathetic race, will finally witness my enormous power of revenge," commented an absurdly spiteful voice, expressing all its hatred and repulsion in a few words. Goku said, "Whoa, who are you? What did you do to Goten? Where is my son? Tell me now, or else." An extremely irritated Goku spoke, who ended up being interrupted by the voice. The voice said, "Calm down, Lost Saiyan. Your son is fine. He's in good hands. He is here with me. But I fear he won't be able to hold out for long. After all, the gravitational pressure of the place I am is something beyond anything you have ever seen." Goku said, "See, calm down. Don't do anything. Don't let him die. I don't know what you want, but we can talk about it. It's me you want, isn't it? If not, there wouldn't be all this mystery just to attract me," Goku argued, trying to sound calm and convinced of his words. The voice said, "Well, you're right. First of all, I want you to know my name. I am Cumber, a Saiyan. Just like you, I want to have a battle against you after all. That's the Saiyan spirit. As much as I hate this race, it's in my blood," commented the softer voice in contradiction to the previous tone of voice. Goku said, "Oh, okay, I want to fight you too. I witnessed how strong you are when you created that portal. But first, I have to get out of this place, don't you think?" said Goku, who was starting to follow the rhythm of the situation. Instantly, a large portal opened and filled that empty and informationless space with an enormous light, and without thinking twice, Goku threw himself into that portal, not knowing what could happen. Goku, who didn't know what could happen after entering this mysterious portal, simply trusted his instincts and his determination to save his son. He definitely didn't trust the supposed Saiyan who had talked to him, but he was the only possible explanation for all this to happen. So, without blinking, Goku closed his eyes, waiting for what he might find. When Goku opened his eyes, he was in for a big surprise. He had stopped on a planet that was apparently empty. All Goku could see were the bones of bodies that had already succumbed in that place, and because the environment had several traces of debris everywhere, in addition to the cracks in the planet's soil, Goku could only conclude that there was a tremendous and fervent battle in this deserted and alone place. Goku thought, "I don't understand. I entered the portal, convinced that I would find my son here, but all I find are traces of bodies. I have no idea where I am, but I have to find Goten, no matter what I have to do." And anxious and worried, Goku thought, with frequent sweat on his forehead. As Goku mourns his newest apparent failure to find his son, a large aura ends up forming in that place. Goku didn't know exactly what that was, but it was definitely not a pleasant presence. Goku could feel that the ki from this smoke was a huge danger, and that he had to stay away from that energy that was growing more and more. When Goku closed his eyes and opened them again, all he saw was a very muscular man, tall, with hair that resembled his brother Raditz, and a very peculiar style of clothing. He wore black pants while his upper body wore a huge red shirt, accompanied by a white mask that completely covered his mouth. Goku said, "Come on, tell me, who are you? Are you the guy I was talking to just now? Are you the Saiyan Cumber?" said a nervous Goku, waiting for direct answers. Cumber said, "Yes, Son Goku, I am Cumber, the Saiyan who was exiled and left to die by your filthy and treacherous race. And today is the day when you, one of the survivors of the warrior race, will pay for everything. I will find all the traitorous Saiyans, and guess what? And you will be the first to feel my wrath," Cumber commented with a a serious and cold expression, and although it was not possible to see the expression on his face, his words were more than enough. Goku said, "Look, I honestly don't care about all this nonsense. Where did you hide, Goten? I want you to bring my son. If you do, we can talk, fight, or anything you want. But please return it," said Goku, wanting his request to be fulfilled as quickly as possible. Cumber said, "Now calm down, blood companion. Your son is fine. In fact, he is in one of the safest places, or if not the safest place in the universe. After all, it is not exactly something I could call a place," Cumber commented with a tone of humor. Goku said, "Place? What place? I want you to tell me. If you bring Goten here, we can talk more cautiously. That's what you want, isn't it? Have some time with me. Just bring Goten and we can work this all out," Goku argued, trying to convince Cumber in an easier way. Cumber, who could no longer take the Saiyan's various requests, simply snapped his fingers and a large tear in space-time ended up being made. In this huge tear, it was possible to see a figure coming out of it, and that figure was Goten, who remained unconscious. Goku was absurdly happy because his son was really alive. He could feel his ki. It was as if no harm had been done to him, which proves that what Cumber said was correct. When Goku observed that Goten was fine, he knew that now it was his turn to resolve the matter that Cumber wanted to discuss with him so much. And honestly, Goku really didn't expect that this conversation would bring significant results for him. Cumber watched Goku for a few seconds. It was visible that Cumber's eyes could convey his face at that moment, and what he felt now was a tremendous satisfaction. Nothing was more important than this moment for him. Nothing could interfere, and it would be a unique moment. Cumber said, "Very well. Now that you know your son is safe, allow me to place him in a barrier and leave him in a safer part of the planet. With that, I guarantee you that the boy will not be harmed. The barrier I will create could withstand all the damage from our fight easily, so there is no need to hold back, understand?" He spoke a calm and subtle Cumber, explaining part of the situation to the Saiyan. After exclaiming this, Cumber immediately created the barrier around Goten and sent him to the most underground parts of the planet, a place where he would be safe. When Goku observed this, he broke into a genuine smile, because this was the perfect time to test his skills again, no matter how hard they were against an extremely lethal enemy. Without wasting any amount of time, Goku immediately transforms into Super Saiyan Blue, exuding an exuberant divine presence that fills and drives away all evil things in that place. Cumber looked at that state and was a little surprised because he didn't imagine that other Saiyans could do that. Cumber said, "You are certainly quite incredible. I believe that Prince Vegeta can also do the same, right? Well, I think he will be a bonus for me." Goku didn't want to waste any more time, and he quickly headed towards where Cumber was with his teleportation and tried to deliver a concentrated kick to his neck. But all Goku received was a tremendous headbutt to his leg from Cumber, and it had hurt a little on his leg, but nothing that would hinder the Saiyan from fighting. Seeing that his first attack was unsuccessful, Goku tries to throw a right punch at Cumber's stomach, but in fact he wanted to place a sphere of contained energy from Divine Ki and spread such energy throughout his body, because perhaps that way Goku managed to destroy him from the inside out, but he couldn't be more wrong about that. In reality, the energy that Goku deposited simply served as a supply for Cumber, who returned the energy by delivering a large punch to Goku's stomach, which was followed by a right hook accompanied by a series of punches to his face. Goku was starting to take damage, but it wasn't normal damage, but damage that was in a single part of his body. Goku felt that it was as if all the blows and pain he had suffered came together in a single part of his body to harm him even more, which made the situation even worse because one of his shoulders was unable to rise. To try to escape this immense pain, Goku automatically and unexpectedly takes the form of Ultra Instinct, and because of Ultra Instinct, that only uses the body and ignores the mind, which caused the thought of pain sent by his brain to be simply ignored, and he continued fighting. Goku transmitted an imposing aura, and Cumber liked that. He felt that Goku was his equal at that moment, and to make everything even more fun, he further expanded his evil ki, releasing even more energy. Cumber was very excited, and without waiting any longer, he simply advanced instantly and threw a knee at Goku's chin, and this left him bewildered for a few seconds, leaving the Saiyan a little dizzy and giving Cumber room to deliver an extremely brutal punch to his face. "Stomach," Cumber said, "So how do you feel? You see your ancestors now, ha ha ha. They were idiots. They thought they could solve everything using brute force, but in reality, they were not a race with great fighting power, and who never thought about evolving, which is why they were nothing more than Frieza's mere doormats," Cumber said, forcing Goku's face further into the ground. Goku, who was waiting for the right opportunity, performed a small discharge of energy from his divine ki and made a large explosion surrounded by enormous smoke that covered part of the place. Cumber expanded his evil aura and was unable to locate Goku, who was no longer on the ground. Goku was behind him, delivering a huge punch to his right cheek, a punch that Cumber definitely didn't expect. In an attempt to fight back, Cumber throws an elbow followed by a large sphere of energy thrown towards the Saiyan. Goku, without any option, just holds the gigantic ball of energy and sends it out of the planet, although this took a lot of effort from his strength because that sphere of energy was a ball of concentrated energy that would explode at any moment. Goku no longer wanted to continue with all that theater, and in order not to waste any more time and finally take Goten home, he teleported and threw several concentrated, focused, and enhanced punches at various weak points on the human body, which left Cumber paralyzed for a few moments. Seconds. At that moment, it was enough time for Goku to release a huge Kamehameha towards Cumber, which made the Saiyan disappear completely without leaving a trace. After finishing the battle, Goku came out of his Ultra Instinct state and went to his son, who was completely fine and free from physical harm. To escape from this place, Goku saw that there was still a trail of cracks in space-time. It was the perfect opportunity for Goku to finally return to his home together with his son. Goku thought, "This Saiyan is very powerful, I need to warn Vegeta as quickly as possible. After all, this guy will appear again. This isn't over yet, but I need to get out of here as quickly as possible." Goku commented before entering the portal. Chi-Chi was just waiting for the two, always holding out hope that they would return, and she wasn't wrong, because within a few seconds Goku and Goten had simply appeared quickly. A happy and smiling Chi-Chi hugs the two, thanking Goku for rescuing their son, and so the three of them still went to celebrate Goten's birthday, because not a day had passed yet. This way, Goku and Goten enjoyed this day as if it were their last. Guys, that's how we wrap up today's story. Do you want a sequel? Can Cumber return? It all depends on you. So comment, and of course don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. See you in the next video. Goodbye.